Hello, and welcome to the final Advocacy Minute of 2024. I'm Ashley Fordham, your 2024 Oregon Realtors President, and this is your Advocacy Minute for the week. Before Oregon's legislative session began on February 5th, 2024, the governor and legislative leaders made clear that housing would be a top priority for the 5-week session when the sessions concluded on March 7th. It was obvious that housing was not only a top priority, but also among the biggest winners of the 2024 legislative session. For Oregon Realtors, 2024 was one of the most successful legislative sessions in recent memory. We were highly effective in defending the interests of real estate industry and achieved numerous policy wins. To learn more about the key bills we tracked and engaged with this year, please see our 2024 legislative report linked in the email that included in this video and/or on our website at the Advocacy tab. The final week of the session is always fast and furious, and 2024 was no different. Several key bills passed during the final week, including the reintroduction version of our 2023 bill to expand access to first-time homebuyer savings accounts. Here are some of the major bills that passed in the final week. Senate Bills 1537 and 1530 were the components of Governor Kotek's 2024 Housing Production Package. SB 1537, the policy bill, took several important actions to address our state's housing crisis, including the establishment of Housing Accountability and Production Office, addressing the issue of land supply by allowing cities with demonstrated needs for residential land and affordable housing to utilize a one-time optional urban growth boundary UGB expansion, and addressing housing affordability by ensuring that at least 30% of all housing units developed in one of these potential expansion areas is legally restricted to be affordable. SB 1530, the corresponding budget bill, funded numerous programs and initiatives established by SB 1537. In total, these two bills provided more than $369 million in funding for various housing programs. House Bill 4024 put in place campaign finance reforms. The legislature and many involved stakeholders passed this carefully negotiated campaign finance bill to ensure reasonable limits on campaign contributions while still allowing Oregonians to band together in membership organizations or small donor committees to make an impact on campaigns and elections. As a result of the measure's passage, the proponents of two campaigns finance reform ballot measures, both of which had problematic implications, agreed to halt their efforts to address the issue at the ballot. Additionally, House Bill 4026 passed, which clarified that the decision by a city to expand its urban growth boundary is an administrative decision, not a legislative decision, and therefore cannot be referred to the ballot. This protected a decades-old precedence of our land use system and ensures that the process to add needed land to a city's UGB will not become an even more time-consuming and costly process than it already is. Finally, Senate Bill 1564 directed the Land Conservation and Development Commission to adopt 3 model ordinances with clear and objective standards for the development of various housing types within an urban growth boundary, including single-family detached housing, middle housing, accessory dwelling units, and multifamily housing that may be readily adopted by a local government. One model ordinance will be developed for the cities of 3 population sizes, one for cities of 2,500 people or fewer, one for cities with 2,500 to 25,000 people, and one for cities with more than 25,000 people. These wins are on top of successes earlier in the session, including the passing of House Bill 4058, which regulates residential property wholesaling, prohibits long-term future right-to-list contracts, and requires buyers and sellers agents to use written representation agreements with their clients. For more information about the bills we worked on in this legislative session, see our 2024 legislative report. And that's a wrap. Advocacy Minute will return in January of 2025 when the next legislative session begins. Until then, continue to read our monthly advocacy review newsletters to stay up to date with all of the policy and political happenings in Salem.